As I build my coaching business, I want to know how to effectively serve clients and make more money doing it. This podcast will pull back the curtain to reveal exactly how successful coaches are building their empires. Join me as I engage with top coaches from all over the world to discover their secrets. No theatrics and no theory, just real life strategy. My name is William Winterton, and this is Coaching Success Radio. Hey, what's going on, Coaching Success Radio? Today, I am really excited. I know I say that all the time, but I really am. Today, I've got my very good friend, Cappello, joining us on the program. Now, who is Cappello? She is actually the one who started the Coaching Success Club a couple of years ago, back before I even took over and was co-leading this thing as well. She is a master coach. She has been in this business for a couple of decades now, doing some incredible work, helping coaches all over the planet grow and scale their business, and she's still going strong and doing so much amazing stuff. I've been trying for about since the time of the conception of this podcast, been trying to get her onto this program, and her schedule is just so bonkers that she hasn't been able to do it until now. It's one of the things about the coronavirus is it's really limited the amount of travel we've been able to do, and so she was actually able to be in town, in Tucson, where I live. This is how hard it is. She lives like down the way from me, and I have never been able to get her onto the program. So finally this happened, and I'm so excited to share my conversation with you that I had with Karen. So we kind of start this off. I kind of got into this right away, didn't do a whole lot of introduction stuff, so I wanted to make sure and give her some credit. But Karen is a master coach. She really has a passion for helping coaches grow and scale their business, which is where a lot of my ideas and a lot of my passion for this business really sprang up from. She was one of my major influencers in the beginning. So super excited to have this conversation, super thrilled and pumped up, and hope you get a lot of value out of this. This is Karen Cappello.
One of the reasons I became a coach was to shift my life a little bit. So I was working 60 to 70 hours a week in estate planning. I was really successful. You know, I made $1 million roundtable my second year, and it was a big deal. And yet I was completely exhausted. So I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And there was a friend of mine from Scottsdale that said, you know, everybody I know is coaching, and you should be one too. This was way back in like 2001. So I took my coach training in 2002, and there were three things I wanted, right? I wanted to work less hours, which was not hard to do.
Right.
After all those hours, I wanted to wear comfy clothes, which I do now. And I wanted to wake up without a blaring alarm clock. It's funny because I used to set my alarm for 7, and I would just like wake up and jump up and get ready. And I was never quite ready to get out of bed then. And now the crazy thing is I'll wake up at 5 or 6 on my own, you know, so it's very strange. But anyway, those were the things I wanted. And I came into coaching, and I was able to do all of those things. And even now, you know, in the world, being able to work and connect with clients and all over the world from my little home office is just something I never thought could happen. Like I hoped it could happen, but I never knew it could happen.
It seems like such a dream whenever you first get started to think this could actually be your lifestyle and what it is. And how long now have you been officially on the coaching circuit and nothing else, just this living off of coaching?
Right. Well, February 2nd, 2002, I kind of put that as my first, you know, my initial business date. Although I was in an Abraham Hicks workshop that day, actually. Yeah. But I put it 2/2/202 was my date. So I just hit my 18th year in coaching. Although there was a part there where I wasn't all in my own business. I was actually doing coach training, and I was chief learning officer of International Coach Academy for about 7 years of that. And so it was like half and half. But I've always had my own business as the thread that ran through that.
So in that time of just being a coach, how much of that had you decided, at some point it hits you that coaching is fantastic. It's obviously, and I think you and I agree that coaching is probably one of the best possible careers out there, because it does, if it's done right, then it elevates the coach, it elevates the person learning, it helps the whole system, and the whole ecosystem just grows from it. And at some point you decided that I want to help other coaches to get stronger so we can have even more of us crazy people running around and doing this. So when did that kind of take off? Like this is what I'm going to lead into is actually working with coaches.
Oh, William, that was like, I think it was month 2.
Yeah.
So it was so funny
Awesome.
because my first month of coaching, I went to a training program called Coach for Life, and it was an in-person training, and it was a week long. And so I had done some free coaching with entrepreneurs because I was an entrepreneur. So I was an estate planner. So I worked with insurance agents and financial planners and lawyers and accountants because those were the people around me that were creating these plans. So so I work with all these people, and then for free in the first month. And then after I came back from my coach training, I said, okay, now I'm charging you. And I had 8 paying clients in my first month of coaching. And all the coaches around me who had gone to training with me were like still getting their websites done, but they weren't talking to anybody. They were doing all this other administrative work. And I was out there going, coach with me. I was talking to people. At the time, I didn't really understand the value of enrollment conversations, but I was having enrollment conversations with people. I'm an extrovert, so that helped me. So so that month, people, the coaches around me were going, what are you doing? What are you doing that we're not doing? And so they started hiring me to help them. And then the school that I went to started hiring me to train coaches because it was just such a natural for me. So I would say month 2 or 3, and then I was nervous about it. Some people were saying this is like a multi-level marketing where you're only coaching coaches or something. So I did coach with William Aruda, who's the head of the ICF Business Development Series at that time. And he said, I want you to put this tagline on your signature, the coach for new coaches. And I said, William, I can't do that. I'm a new coach. He goes, you can. And it made me a little nervous to do it, but I did. And I found that I could help them because I understood business. I had a business background that most coaches did not have. And I was in coaching. So I understood them, and I started right away helping coaches get their businesses going.
But in all this time, there's obviously been a lot of changes, not just in the coaching industry, but just online and just throughout business over the past couple decades. What's probably the most consistent thing that you keep seeing as a challenge to coaches that they're just getting their business launched?
There's a big challenge to do marketing that is authentic and effective, I think is how I would say it.
Yeah.
And I haven't moved away from coaches that are just getting their businesses launched, but I've started working more with coaches that are growing what they already have. So one of the bigger challenges is to be authentic and effective in your marketing, which means having a niche. And a lot of coaches, there's so much resistance. I don't really understand what it is, but I know it's there. So I see that. So if a coach can get over that hump and say, okay, I'm going to have this niche, and we know business, relationships, and health are the 3 niches that actually pay. So life coaches out there, put yourself in one of those 3, and because right after the first 3 sessions, it's all life coaching anyway. So put yourself in one of those niches where people are going to pay and get in there. So what I've seen now is so it's changed a little bit when I'm watching coaches grow their business and even start their businesses. We need to start measuring coaching success. And this is like my mission right now, is really to get coaches to measure what we're doing, because that's how to create predictable income. I mean, I know when I started, marketing was like this big cloud. Like I didn't really know what was working or how it was working. So nowadays I see, even the thread running through is we all need to measure what we're doing. We need to measure our clients' results so that we can make sure we're serving them well, we get testimonials, and we can help people understand the value of coaching. We need to measure our own activities and results so that we can figure out what causes what in our business and what to do more of and what to do less of, to really run this as a business and be confident.
When you're talking about coaches who are already seeing some success and then helping them, as opposed to people who are just really at that genesis stage, I haven't had my first client yet. So coaches who have had some success and there is a ceiling, right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're helping push them past that. Is the tracking, is that one of the major pieces that you find once that kind of goes into place? That's one of the releases that people have. Is they can actually
Yes.
track it. They can actually the fastest way to get progress is obviously to figure out where you are now, where you want to go, and then track how long, track what it takes to get there. So, is that what you're finding is a
Yeah, that's what I'm finding. A couple years ago, now I myself have had a six-figure business for many, many years.
sure.
And I don't want to have $1 million business necessarily. I mean, I had $1 million business before, but I like my lifestyle and I like working 3 to 4 days a week, and I like making, over six figures, but I don't want to have like this whole team of people. I had employees before. I'm done with that. So for me though, a couple years ago, I had kind of hit a plateau myself and I was doing well, but it was like a good to great. I was doing well. But I thought, you know what? I could be doing better, but I'm not exactly sure what to do. So I started working with a coach in a mastermind group. And he said to me, he said, $54,000 is the average that coaches make in this 12-week period. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And so I said, well, I've never been average, so I'm sure I can make more than that. So I started with this first group and I made 55, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the next 12 weeks, I said, well, let me see what I can do. Then the next 12 weeks, I made 75. The next 12 weeks, I made $100,000 in 12 weeks. I
Incredible.
was I was as surprised as anyone.
Yeah.
And tracking was the reason, really tracking my activities day by day by day, finding out what worked. And also, you've probably heard this, what gets measured gets done. If it
Yes.
was going to be tracked, I knew that I was going to come into my call every week and I was going to say, okay, here's what I did. So I did more psychologically, and it was you're right, that tracking really made a huge difference for me.
It's the same reason why people succeed really in anything, right? If you want to lose weight, you track your calories, you track how many
Mm-hmm.
steps you're taking. You can't just decide, well, I'm going to eat sort of healthier, and then you have a bunch of Twinkies and Dr. Pepper in the fridge and just not really pay attention to that. It really is a matter that you have to, right? I mean, that's exactly with our business. And for some reason, we love to coach that, but we really have a hard time swallowing our own medicine sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So talk to me a little bit about, it's really interesting, the Quick Start Initiative. Tell me a little bit about this.
Yes. So what happened to me was I was in this group for about a year and a half as a participant with my
Yeah.
coach. And there were things about the group that I really loved, but there were other things that I wish were there that weren't. So I said, I'm going to create my own group exactly how I want it. So one of the things in that group was that we only had group meetings and we had like one meeting with the coach. So I created a group where every other week there's group meetings and every other week there's laser sessions with me. So people have access. So different things. And I tried it out. I tested it out. We started last July. And now here we are in February. So it's about 6 months, let's just say that. And of all the people going through these groups, all the coaches, they have made an average of over $17,000 in just 12 weeks.
Awesome, Karen.
These are not six-figure coaches. These are coaches that are making a couple thousand, a few thousand a month.
Yeah.
And we're moving them up. And it makes me so happy, because I want a return on investment. So if somebody pays me $3,500, my commitment to them is you're going to make at least $3,500 in these 12 weeks. And if you don't, you can come to the next 12 weeks for free. So you actually have like a 6-month window if you need it. Now, 95% of the people that do the work, and it's about an hour a day, we give everybody a menu and we figure out what they're going to do. 95% of those have made back their investment in the first time. Now, we've had a couple that have gone on to the second time and made their investment back too. We've also had people who have gone a second time because they just really enjoyed the group and we give them a little, break in price.
Sure.
And
Sure.
they're just like, we had one person seriously make $80,000 in 12 weeks, one coach. I mean, that's crazy. And she's coming back because she wants to see what's possible. we had another brand new coach, and I usually don't take brand new coaches, but she really was resonant and her energy was right. And she didn't make anything in the group for 8 weeks. And on the 9th week, she made $37,000. So,
Incredible, Karen. That's awesome.
It works. And William, I mean, I'm on a mission to help coaches make money, and like they need income and impact. I want both for them. Because we're making a lot of impact, a lot.
But you're limited in the impact if you don't make any money. You can't keep your own resources up and going. It cannot be a nonprofit unless you're independently wealthy, in which case you're kind of you're not the rule, you're the exception. But I'm in total agreement with you, and I think it's fantastic that you have such a dedication to get people that return back on what they're doing. How is the enrollment on that? Are you guys available to open enroll? Is it like you're limited to 10 people, 50 people? Like, what is your number?
We say that the highest number is 12, but the highest number we've ever had is 9.
Okay.
And I would take 12 now if possible. So depending on when the enrollment is, we've had as few as 6 people, because sometimes there's just less, and we've had as many as 9. And we could do 12 now, I feel, because the process is really good. I know all the forms are working. We give our coaches forms and templates and all kinds of stuff, and if anybody asks for something, I create something more, we give it to the next group. So it's a library of stuff. But I like to keep the group smaller because I want to know. I mean, I want to meet with each person every other week. I want to know what they're doing. That's just me. It's my group. I want to be there.
Well, Karen, you have been an inspiration. I know you and I have known each other a little bit off and on, haven't really had a whole lot of conversations, but because of the Coaching Success Club and your background with that, and then I just will tell the audience listening too that that was a group that I co-led after Karen was running it and did an amazing job with it. And I actually called Karen as I was getting ready for Coaching Success Radio. I was like, hey, is it okay if I name my podcast after the club? Is that going to be all right? She's like, it's a great name. It's fantastic. We're aligned in what we're trying to get done. So she gave me her full blessing, and I've been watching you. I've been just really enjoying the success and the trainings that you have. I would encourage anybody to go on to any number of sources, for sure, YouTube or anything like that, and go check out what she's done. But Karen, you have an amazing wealth, and I love your spirit of giving back to coaches, and just wish you the very, very best in what you're doing.
Thank you so much, William. And we're coming up to one of our free offerings that I'd like to invite everyone to. It's called, I think the website is Coaching Business Boost or Coaches Business Boost. I can't remember, but let's just say coachesbusinessboost.com. And it's in a Facebook group, and we do a 3-day completely free training. I'm not going to call it a challenge because it's not challenging. I mean, It is probably a little bit challenging, but we have a lot of fun. And we find people's, sweet spot, and I share a lot of information. We create a great community. So if you're interested, it's happening, I think, in 10 days. We're starting out. So coachesbusinessboost.com. And if by chance you're listening to this at a time when after we've recorded this, we do these quarterly. So just get in the group. And then I do some videos and things like that. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of my free training there at coachesbusinessboost.com. So would love to have you join us. And William, I'm so happy. I didn't know you very well, and I know you helped with the Coaching Success Club, and it's nice for me to be able to say thank you for all that you have done for my coaches and for your coaches worldwide. And I've been watching you too. And I know we're both here in Tucson, so one of these days we'll have to get together for lunch after this coronavirus thing and stops.
Absolutely. I've been wanting to do that. I know it'd be my pleasure. So we'll definitely put those links down in the show notes. Karen, thank you for your kind words and for all the wealth of information today. Appreciate it so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out. New episodes are coming out every few days, including lots of conversations with massively successful coaches sharing their secrets with you. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel so that you don't miss out. And If you're looking for a way to start making serious money from your coaching, you need to check out my free training. It's at williamwinterton.com. I lay out the step-by-step on how to start making 5 figures a month in the next 60 days. Check it out, williamwinterton.com. I'll see you next time.